I'm 19 and over the last 5 years, I've invested roughly $10,000 into my in-home studio. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what I spent that money on, where I started from, where I'm at now, and where I plan to be in the next 5 years. So let's jump into it. Really quick, before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe as it really helps out the channel. And don't forget to check out thementalproject.com as we'll have a special announcement at the end of the video for you. So starting 2018, I had roughly $1,500 I had saved up from fast food restaurants and working with my dad. Now, before we get started, I just want to show you what my studio looked like back then.
What is that? Oh shit, what is that?
What started as a dark and cold and scary corner that I used to express my emotions through paper and ink that people didn't understand ended up growing into a full business. If your studio looks anything like this, don't feel discouraged. This is exactly where I started from when I figured out that this was going to be my passion and my career. That being said, you do not need $10,000 to start making good content. All you need are these 5 important things. And here they are. 1, a good idea. 2, a camera. You need something to film with, something to get your content out. 3, a decent light. Don't film your art, don't film things without a decent light. 4, a program to edit in, whether it's TikTok, CapCut, or DaVinci Resolve 18, it does not matter. Something that you can cut your footage up and sync it to decent music. And 5, at least 5 people that can see your work. An audience of 5. That is literally all you need to get started and make an infinite amount of quality content. So, as I was saying, I started with about $1,500 and bought myself some art supplies, a business license, and put the rest toward building a website. Because my niche was art, I bought sketchbooks, ink pens, markers, and a few little things. I spent most of my time promoting my product, which was prints, on my website. And by promoting, I mean filming and working on recording and showing the process of my artwork, which popped off really good on different social media platforms. And once I made sales from my prints, I would take that money and reinvest it back into my products and buy better quality items to use, whether it was cameras, lights, equipment, all the way up until now. Okay, so here's a briefing. First, you're going to take a product or your services and build something that people can find it on. From there, you're going to market and make content that promotes that product or service. And then from there, any sales that you make from it, you're going to reinvest into the overall quality of the product and services. And you keep following this pattern over and over and over. And Mental Project has been doing this for the last 5 years, which has gotten us to a point where we have a studio like this. Is the $10,000 studio tour from Mental Project. And this is our film room. I'll be going over our cheapest to most expensive gear that we've used for some of our projects, some of the small projects, and we're going over some of the new stuff we just got in. I haven't even got to use it yet, so I'm really excited to share it with you guys. Let's get into it. Welcome to the studio. Come on in, come. This is the most important tool of our entire studio. You know why? Because we have so much hair before we get on the set. From the cats, the dogs, and Christian. Beginning with our cameras and lenses, we have the Kodak M320.
Oh my God! What is that?
Which was our first ever camera that we recorded with, but this is an absolute piece of do not buy it. It's not a recommendation. It's just here to show you what we started with. Moving on, we have our Sony CyberShot H300, which was used on our first ever film here. If you want to check it out, it's on our website, thementalproject.com/films. It runs for about $200. You can find it at Target, Walmart, Amazon. It's still being sold today. Now, ours has been through a lot of damage. We put it through a lot of wear and tear over the last few years. It's an alright camera, but now it's just a backup camera and it has a lot of noise and isn't really useful for what we're trying to do today. Moving on to the Nikon Coolpix L310. Now, this is a camera that Christian had donated to us. He was a photographer at Dreyfus School of the Arts, and he's now helping us out on the project show, and he gave us this camera to use on that show. So it comes in pretty handy. It's a nice photography camera, great for our side films and little side shots that we use. This camera here, this next one I have been saving for you guys. We just got it in the mail. It's about 3 years old, but it still holds up today. It's got an amazing camera lens. It's 4K quality. It is the Panasonic Lumix GX85. This camera is about $700 on Amazon right now. I don't know if Best Buy is still selling it anymore. We'll be using that on our films that come out this summer. Make sure to subscribe so you get notified about that when they come out. So we're super excited to learn this camera and get to learn all its features and what it can do. Alright, so also with this camera, we have the 35mm lens, the 45 to 150mm lens, which are amazing quality. We're super excited to use those as well. We'll be seeing a couple shots in the future here with them. Now, after all that, the camera that we mainly use for a lot of our films, especially our art vlogs, is an iPhone.
Bruh.
And not an iPhone 13, not an iPhone Pro or anything like that. We actually use the iPhone 6S and the iPhone 7. Yeah. So we're a little bit behind on that, but we've been using those for quite a while now, and your phone is honestly the most handy tool ever. You can edit on it, you can film, get projects out really quick, and I've had so many projects go viral, so it's a really good, useful asset. With our iPhones though, we don't just use our regular camera built-in lens with it. We have external lenses that go on the outside. These help us with some special shots. We also have a fisheye lens that come with that. There's about $50 to $100 depending on what kind of lenses you get with that. We have a whole pack of them, about 5. So we can interchange them. It's got a little clamp with it. Comes with a little travel case, perfect for on the go. Now, moving on to our sound. Tap, 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 tap. We have the cheapest side of things, which is our LAV wireless mics, lav mics. They're the wireless ones for the phone, so you can import it into a USB-C. These have come in handy for the last few episodes. They're not the greatest quality, because anytime you like wrestle around, it shakes the mic. But they're decent for the job, especially if you're trying to get some last minute audio, or they're great for what we use them for right now as backup audio. So if our main mics aren't picking up audio, we use that as a little backup sometimes. Wireless mics run for about $50 to $70 depending on where you're getting it from. After that, we have these cheesy Bauer mics, which we got from Walmart. They're Apple and USB-C adapters attached to them. They're about 20 bucks each. They get the job done for some basic sounds. We get them for last minute things while we're walking around. I even recorded some at the beginning of this video with it. After that, we have the LED streaming mic, which is this mic over here. It's about 45, 50 bucks. Now, it's not great for filming and having an on-set mic, but it is great for last-minute projects when I can't get an audio file and I can't go back to record something. I'll use this mic here to get a sound effect or input that last little bit of audio. There's a bunch of different variations that are similar to it. I think Best Buy also sells this one. So when it comes to our headphones, we use the Beats Studio Buds. Speaking of which, are right in my pocket here. The Beats Studio Buds, now this is not a sponsor, but these are great for the studio here. We use them for our computer, mainly the tablet when I'm doing my side edits and other projects. They fit in my ear perfectly, they don't fall out. The benefit of these is the quality sound that comes with the Beats. Now, the bass on these things is... But these are great for on the go, traveling. I use them for my tablet mainly, and these are just, the audio quality is... Quality is amazing, and I cannot hear anything. These are about $180, but they're totally worth it. They're great for traveling and getting on. It's a ghost, it's a ghost, it's a ghost. You saw that? Did you see that? Oh my god. There's a ghost on screen. Now, I just got these in. These are the new 7-rim lav mics. Now, these came in second place comparison to the DJI mics, which go for about $300 and you only get 2. And I thought this would be a better deal, so I got the $200 one, and I get 3 at the same time. These come with additional adapters and different mics to go with it, and these are supposed to be really good quality. We haven't got the chance of using them yet. They'll be used in some of our later episodes coming out next month, hopefully. Now, one of the newest additions to our project equipment is the Tascam DR60. We just got this in the other day. This is for our external audio recorder. This is able to record mics up to 4 tracks. It's an external recorder, so we don't have to worry about when we have all these different live mics recording. It can layer them all into individual tracks, and we don't have to worry about them being all jumbled up onto one camera. They can have their own tracks that we can edit in post. This runs for about $200. And lastly, for our sound, we have the XM55 microphone. This thing is a badass beast for our boom mic.
Have you ever acted before?
So we just got this. It comes with our starter kit, which has a bunch of different external cords and adapters, so we can plug them into multiple things, including phone jacks. I'm super excited to use that. That'll be seen on our newer projects with our more serious things, like our films coming out in the summer, so don't forget about that. That goes for about $180. Alright, what's next? Rigs and, what's that? Okay, rigs and gear. Okay, so, onto our... Now when it comes to our rigs and gear, we have so much. Now let's get into that. Starting us off with the wireless selfie stick. Now, I recommend this for anybody who has an iPhone or uses their iPhone for filming or any kind of phone. This is great for on-the-go travels. We have the wireless one so we can take pictures with it from the little rod. About 20 to 40 bucks depending on where you get them. After that, we have the mini go tripod, which is a little guy. We don't really use anymore, but this was great for our older days when we had the smaller camera. It's got the universal screw so it can fit onto all of our cameras. This is great to fit in compacted small areas. These go for about $15. You can find this at the Target aisle with all their SD cards. I think this one came with other accessories, but I have no idea where there are. Now, our next thing is a gooseneck. I recommend this for everybody, especially if you're an artist and you have to draw and have an overhead camera. The gooseneck is perfect because you can put it in any angle you need.
That's what she said.
Sometimes they snap, but that's really just how much you're using it. Now, the goosenecks have come in such handy for me because I've used them literally on almost all of my illustration drawings, especially these ones here that went viral and like millions and 500,000 views. Go check those out, by the way. That's my TikTok. Goosenecks can be anywhere from $10 to $25, depending on what brand and company you get. After that, we have the Gorilla tripod. Now, this is not actually the Gorilla tripod, but it's alike. We got this one from Walmart if you're on a budget. I think this was about $25. The Gorilla one, I think, is anywhere from $30 to $60. But the thing that is great about these is they're flexible. You can kind of wrap them around anything. These are great. You can pick them up from Walmart or Target. Usually come with a phone mount with an additional attachment on the top. This one came with an attachment so we can put a light or a camera or whatever else we need on here. From there, we have the overhead stabilizer. This is about $40 to $70. These range from all over the place depending on how heavy of a camera you're going to be putting on it, how much gear is going to go on it. We have this one, which is just the side handle, and we really put our one camera on this, maybe a boom mic or something else on it. We don't put too much weight because it's not really built for that. And after that, we have the most jankiest piece of garbage you'll probably ever see, but I recommend getting either a professional one or making it yourself, whatever is easier for you. If you're on a budget, I suggest making it yourself. You can add all the additions you need. This is our Fig rig. We made it out of PVC pipe from Home Depot and some spray paint. But this is amazing. You can put any kind of camera you want on it. We're building additional attachments to this so we can hold our newest gear, the Tascam, the boom mic, and some of our monitors as well. But this is definitely a necessity if you're going to be doing some tracking shots, running, and you need your camera to be stabilized. Now, definitely, like I said, it's jank compared to other things that actually have motion capture and different stabilization technology built into it. And this is more or less just a rig. Next, we have the workbench swivel clamps. Now, I have too many of these lying around because I cannot get enough. These are perfect for mounting mics, mounting cameras, mounting lights, literally everything. The universal screw, and I have a clamp that can pretty much go on anything as long as it's about this thick. You can kind of clamp it to pretty much everything. I use these to hold my cameras and my lights, so when I'm filming over here in my studio, or if I have to have a mic here and have to have multiple things going on, it's great to just kind of keep things out of the way or turn it around for a second. These are a dime a dozen. They run for about $10 to $15 depending on where you're at. Multiple attachments for the end of them, and even get new springs and different things so they can hold tighter. After that, we have our tripods. We have a 4-foot, a 6-foot, and an 8-foot, which are absolutely necessary for stabilized cameras, and I'm using one right now with the O-ring light on it. And if you don't have a tripod, it's not like it's necessary, but it's definitely helpful to kind of have that stabilized camera when you're filming by yourself. Otherwise, shots like this will probably not be as easy. I have to stack books all the way up. Now, 2 of them are kind of cheesy. You can kind of get them from anywhere. They're anywhere from $10 to $30, but we do have a really nice professional one, which is about $100. Got a bunch of different adjustable features on it, and it's super convenient to kind of pack down. It gets really small, it fits in my travel bag. So I really love the professional ones. Don't buy the cheesy ones. Technical difficulties.
What is going on here?
I'm gonna tighten these strips. It will break and snap on you eventually, but if you have to and you're on a budget, definitely pick up a tripod. They're great for filming by yourself and things like this. Did you know you can get Project Creator merch right now in the store for 10% off when you use the link in the description below? Also, moving into our lighting, we have the O-ring lights. I'm using an O-ring light right now. Check it out. Now, we have multiple O-ring lights, and I recommend this for everybody. They're useful for content creators and backup lights, but our favorite is the wireless one, which we can use a remote to control to our phone, and we can kind of activate it if we need to take pictures, or start the camera, end the camera, save our battery, whatever we need. It's got multiple lighting temperatures so we can adjust it for the scene that we need. Most of them go from yellow to a soft white to a hard white. They run from about $35 to $45 to $85 depending on what you're getting and the size of the O-ring, what LEDs are in it. When it comes to our color, we have so many LED strip lights. These are a dime a dozen. You get them anywhere. These are great for aesthetic. On our films, we use them as backlighting. We also have, when it comes to our color lighting, is the sound light over here, which goes for about $50 to $100. This is a nice one that we can mount onto everything. Now, we also have these C-stand lights. These are just little table light things that I don't know where they came from. They're just great that we can mount them on a C-stand and have little projected side lights and soft yellow lights that we have for different studio projects. You probably won't see this in any of our content right now, but you might see it in some of our future films that are coming out in summer. Go check that out. If you want to get notified, click subscribe and go subscribe to our newsletter so you get that email right when they drop. Now onto our computers, monitors, and tablets. Starting with the Skeptray. I don't know how you pronounce that. What the f is that word?
Okay, don't hurt yourself.
Skeptra's 35-inch flat screen TV. We have two of these. These are just monitors, really. They were TVs back in the day, about $180 to $200 each. We also have it so our podcast guests can kind of see what's going on if you want to share something on screen. Onto the techie side of stuff with our computers. Dell Inspiration 11, I don't know, something like that. This is the 17-inch touchscreen. We got the additional terabyte space on there. Ours came with an NVIDIA GeForce graphics card, so it's perfect for running our programs. It processes a lot. I put it through so much work every single day, and it's still kicking it. When it comes to our tablets, we have three, and two of them are drawing. The first one being a bamboo Wacom tablet, which is phenomenal. This was the first tablet I ever started with, so what got me into the whole drawing into the digital verse. This one was the Wacom, so it was a little bit bigger than some of the other bamboos you'll see or get now, which are like 180. From there, I moved up and upgraded to the Huion Canvas Pro 13, which is right over here. It's got the additional quick hotkeys on the side, which is perfect, and it's got a slick, clean pen, which I love to use, and just super lightweight, easy to brush stroke. It's got pressure sensitivity plus the cursor so you can zoom in and out without having to touch your keyboard. It was for about $350 online. Now, this is what I was doing a lot of my digital work on for the computer stuff, but what I do things now in is the iPad Pro. This one just came out last year, and it's got all the doodads and features. I use Procreate on it, and that's what I draw a lot of my digital stuff now with. A ton of different features, and I usually throw them back and forth between these two tablets, the file, depending on what the project is. So those are the two tablets I use now. I'm actually going to give away my bamboo tablet soon, so maybe if you guys subscribe, I might give it away to one of the subscribers. I don't know, we'll see. Recommend a tablet, especially if you're going to get into any kind of digital art. Don't be one of those people who's trying to use their mouse all the time and try to create stuff. Now, there's a time and a place for that, and I definitely have made some projects that are very phenomenal with a mouse, but I don't recommend that. Get a tablet, even if it's one that doesn't have a screen. You don't need to be fancy with it. You just need to have something that can kind of whip in some drawings and get some decent lines in. Now, all of that together may not seem like a whole lot. We didn't even bother to go over any of the art supplies I have. I have literally so much art supplies. I probably have like art supplies alone, just with some of the inks that I use, all the additional markers I have, the colors, the paints, the ink pens, literally everything. Not to mention the tables, the furniture, the paint that we use to build the studio, flash drives and hard drives. And if you'd like to see another video on that, I can definitely make that.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
Hey, are you enjoying our videos? If so, check out our website. We updated it. We got new art, new prints, and new artists. But wait,
Are you a creator? If so, check out our creator hoodies and our creator products. They're made for you, specifically you. Check them out right now. The link in the description below. 10% off right now, all products. Support our new artists as well. They have new prints, new work. They're working for us now and helping us out with new art and other things. Or this, me. You could buy me. You could buy my art. Go buy my art. Go buy it right now. It's in the store.